Okay, so our recording has begun, and welcome everyone. This is our second sound healing workshop, and we covered so much information on the first one that we just felt we needed to do it again. So we are going to take a break halfway through, okay? Which, I mean, a 2-hour workshop, you definitely need to take a break. When you do sound on Zoom, you, in my case anyway, all my bowls and all my instruments are all around me on the ground, okay? So it's really important if you are doing sound on Zoom for your meeting that you're comfortable, all right? And you don't need a lot of instruments to have a fantastic effect with the people that are listening. But one thing you do need, if you are going to use anything that is with you, like for instance, for me here on the floor, you must have a microphone, okay? So, can you hear the crystal? So the first thing you want to do if you do your meeting on Zoom, you want to check 3 things. You want to check that they can hear your instruments. You want to check that they can hear your voice. That's a whole topic, to modulate your voice. And you want to check that they can hear your music. Okay? So, in order for the music, this music is actually going to be in your device, right? Played through Apple Tunes or iTunes or whatever program you have to play music. Now, I have put a piece of music in the chat, all right? And it's a 3-minute and 33-second piece of music. It's called Blue Radiance. And I would love it if each one of you would take that piece of music, copy it into your computer, and then we're all going to try and make sure that you can play it, okay? So one of the most relaxing sounds that you can give people is the sounds in nature, whether it's water, birds, wind, nature sounds, okay? I use crickets too, believe it or not. People don't realize how crickets are a very highly vibrational sound that you walk outside every summer night and there they are. And they are like the vibration of the planet. Loons, birds, the wind. So I've given you all a song to download.
I don't see it.
I don't see anything in my chat either.
You don't see it?
None of us do.
This is it. It's actually playing right now. Okay, so I'm going to try to send it to you again. And I'm going to send it. Now, do you hear this music playing?
Now
It is, yeah, it's very low.
Okay, so one of the things that happens with sound is that each piece of music that you play is recorded at a different volume, right? So sometimes your music may come across really low. Sometimes, see here, as I raise the volume, comes across louder, right? You hear it better? Okay. Now, do you see the music in the chat?
Yes.
Okay. So, we're going to stop this sound right now. But that is the song that I've sent you, okay? So you have birds, and it's actually called Blue Radiance, which really brings on images of water and light. So,
Andrea, I can see it, and I can even sort of make sure the file is totally loaded, but I can't seem to copy it. It says click to open, and when I click to open, it doesn't open, I don't think.
well,
I got mine
Somebody's-
open.
did it open?
It did, and it started playing right away too.
It started playing right away. Okay, hold on. Let's just stop playing them for a moment. Hold on. So, what we're going to do is we're going to stop my sharing of sound. Somebody is sharing their sound. Okay. You know who it is? No?
Who's got theirs on?
Who's got theirs on? It's not me anymore because my computer sound
I
is
hope
now
it's not
off.
me. I'll double check. Make sure it's not me.
All right, you know what?
That's it.
No. Okay. Now, my computer sound is no longer being shared, okay? If you want to be a host in a Zoom meeting and you want to share whatever song is in your computer, this is what you have to click. You have to look at the bottom menu and you see the word share and the little green box with the arrow pointing up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you click on that. Whoop, Mary, you are muted. Hold on. There you go.
Sharing not turned on.
Somebody's playing it again. Okay, hold on. Katie is requesting a decline.
All right.
Okay. Somebody is sharing their sound. We're gonna all, you don't think it's you?
I can't even find it, so I don't know if it's me or not.
You know what? I will send it to you after. It's fine. The point is,
I have to turn everything off.
So that's,
turn everything off.
so Mary is lit up. So I'm assuming it's coming from her. She muted it. She muted herself and it went away. So
Okay, so it must be that. So what I want to do is I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. Number one, if you're starting a Zoom session and you want to get everybody in a lovely vibe of calm, peaceful energy, that music is only 3 minutes and 33 seconds, which is great. It's not too long. It doesn't go on, and it gives you the birds and the vibe of light and the energy also of blue. Blue is the throat chakra. Blue is the communication. It's a great song to collect your group together, okay? And the way you play that music, if you all can't get it through the chat, just send me an email after and I will send you all the music, okay?
So Andrea, if I can interrupt, where did you find that song?
Okay, so do you see, now I did put the name of the company that I got that music from. I put that into the chat at 1:39 and I said we're going to practice, and it's called Blue Radiance and it's from sourcevibrations.com.
Okay.
Now, Source Vibrations is managed by one guy. His name is Asa, A-S-A. And he is amazing. And I have spoken to him directly and told him about what we do and told him that everything with Helping Parents Heal is to help. There's no money. There's no, this is not a business transaction. So I bought many, many, many pieces of music from him. And he gave me the okay to share because, there's always trademark issues with music.
Right.
So we can use Blue Radiance as well as many other pieces of music. I have hundreds of pieces from him that I did buy, but we can use them. And I would love to go through some of the other ones with you because I think that will really help enhance your Zoom meetings, okay? But go to sourcevibrations.com. If there is a downside to that site, there's too much. There's so much on there. I'm telling you, go crazy. You don't even know where to look after a while. So I want to finish about how to share, okay? How to be the host sharing your computer sound. So you would go to share and click on that. Then you would look up at the top and it says screens, documents, and advanced. And you would click on advanced. And then you would click on the little box below. You won't, I don't know if you'll see that if you're not the host. So no way.
I get a message that says only hosts can share.
Exactly. So what I want to do actually is make each of you host. Okay? I want to make each of you host in turn so that you can actually share some computer music. Okay. But I'm giving you anyway the route. So you click shared at the bottom, advanced on the next screen. It's right up at the top. Right below advanced, you click on computer audio. And then you go to the bottom of that same screen and you click on share. Okay, now, does anybody have a piece of music that they would like to play? Did anybody manage to download Blue Radiance? I think you did, Mary? You did, Katie? Okay, so here we go. So Katie, I'm going to make you host. You are now host. So you're going to do all those clicks, okay? Because the thing is, you got to try. You got to mess. You got it?
I got it. So here I'm going to advanced. And then
computer audio.
Computer audio.
And down to the bottom. See the little blue thing? Share.
Share.
Great.
And I'm hoping it's going to go right to that one.
Well, no, you have to click on the song afterwards, but it will say on your screen, it will say my computer sound, like it will show that your sound is being shared.
It wants a password. I don't even know if I know my Zoom password.
It wants a password. Oh, no, I don't think that doesn't make sense. A password for what? Okay, maybe we'll try somebody else.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to? Oh, no, it worked. Katie's computer sound, it showed up on my screen. It's working.
So let's see.
Do you have a piece of music to play?
There it is. Can you hear it?
Okay, so I can't hear it. Can anybody else hear it?
No.
No. That's why, by the way, when you are the host and you're doing a Zoom meeting, you always do a sound check at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. So you can't hear it. All right. No, but it's playing, right?
It is playing right now.
Okay, so now go to the bottom. You see where it says audio?
It says host tools, maybe? Or
right at the very bottom, it says audio, video, then the number. Okay, so when you
click on that, okay.
Actually, don't click on the auto. Click on that little upwards
I did. I
thing.
On that, and what am I supposed to click on?
Okay, and then you have to select the speaker. So maybe you're on the wrong speaker.
That's probably it. Oh, let's see.
Try another speaker. Let the music play and try. So, and by the way, our kids mess around with electronics all the time. And in many of my Zoom sessions, my daughter Chloe did all kinds of crazy stuff. And I know that it was actually to help me troubleshoot and not panic and be able to kind of troubleshoot my way through. So don't freak out. The important thing when you start a Zoom session, make sure that your microphone is on and people can hear your instruments if you have any. That they can hear your voice and that they can hear your music.
Andrea, what kind of microphone are you using?
I have a really simple one. And the funny thing happened. Last week, I said, you know, Andrea, this is too simple. I bought this March 2020, just as COVID was starting and everything closed down and I knew I was going to have to do Zoom. And it's a little rinky-dinky thing. It's called the Blue Snowball. But you know what? Okay. Last week, I had a sound engineer come. And he gave me a really fancy system. And I don't like it. I disconnected the whole thing and I went back to my Blue Snowball. So maybe it's just because, you know, you're comfortable.
Oh, you hit something. You muted yourself for disconnected something.
Okay, can
There
you
you
hear
go.
me now?
You're back.
There you go. Another great lesson. See? Don't touch your wires once you've Mary, I'm going to unmute you because I don't. Oh no, I can't. Katie, you have to do it because you're the host. Do you know how to work with Zoom? Okay, perfect. You don't know. So now what you do is you go to Mary and you see the little
yeah.
blue and the three
Yeah.
dots. Ask her to unmute. Okay? There you go. Mary? Okay.
Yep.
Now Mary's unmuted. All right. So I don't know, Katie, if you have any music yet that you can play for us, but that is the route that you go. Okay? Share, right? Advanced, computer audio, and share. Okay? And I would always get a friend to like click on your Zoom link and check it with them. And that could be me. I'm always available to help anytime. Okay, just say, Andrea, I want to check on my connections. Here's the Zoom link. Can we meet for 5 minutes? That's all it'll take just to be sure that everything works. Okay? Okay, so Katie, you're going to make me host again.
Okay, so what do I do?
So now you would you'd go into participants.
Uh-huh.
All right, and you'd go to my name, and you see where it says more. It says mute and it says more.
So participants. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Okay, yeah, and then
You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm able to do
I
it
see it.
because
Okay.
I could reclaim the host, but you
Yeah.
could make me the host.
I see
You
it
gotta
now.
you gotta mess around with the Zoom clicks, okay? Not be afraid to really mess around with them. All right. So share, advanced, computer audio, and share. All right. So here we go. You want to start your meeting, and I always like to start a meeting. I am going to mute you, Mary, because for whatever reason, I don't know why, but there's a lot of static coming. So I just put you on mute and the static stopped. You want to start a meeting by setting the table in a way. And you can do any kind of prayer you usually do. If you have a crystal bowl, you don't need 20. In fact, one will do. Okay? You don't need many. You just need a great bowl that has a really good fade. So this is a bowl that has a really good fade. Okay? It's called a therapeutic crystal bowl. It has a stand, and it's therapeutic because when I do sound, but this is not, really part of an HPH meeting, but when I do sound, I can work a whole room and walk around to each person. But even if you're on Zoom, I want you to hear not only the sound of the bowl, but the fade. The fade is what helps everybody really get into the mood. Now I can lower my computer volume. Okay, do you hear it lower now? And lower and lower and higher and higher. So there are two different volumes operating here. There's a computer volume for your instruments, but then there's the volume of your music if you play music. Okay, so it's two different things. It's really not that confusing. If anybody has a question or whatever, just stop me. Anybody? No? Everything's clear, totally like mud? Okay.
right, you're going to ding it, and then you can use the computer volume to bring it down if you want to.
That's right. Everything that's here in the room with me, all my instruments and my voice, is the computer volume.
And you're hearing it from that microphone.
You're hearing it from this microphone. Now, the funny thing is, I can take this microphone off, okay? and watch what happens. You're still going to hear my voice. So my microphone has now been disconnected. Do you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, but you most probably won't hear the bowls the same way. Usually when I start, you have to be careful with your technology too, that you don't demand too much of it. Don't ask too much, you know? Okay, so I put my microphone. So the fade is the end of the sound, right?
Just take your volume on your computer and turn.
That's it. Now my computer volume is down. Now my computer volume is going up. Do you see the difference? No? Yeah?
Yeah, yeah. I hear a little bit of static though when you're doing that. There's like a rustling sound when you actually turned it down. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, you're right. And it's not a good idea to play with too much while you're doing your bowls, okay? If you're doing more than one bowl on Zoom, give each one a bit of time, okay? In other words, do you hear that clearly? Okay. So, does anybody want to ask any questions about the crystal bowls? Is it of interest? Do you want to talk about the more ancestral stuff? Now, because you're doing Zoom, let's assume, actually, I'm going to wait to see if anybody has a question before I continue.
Do you know where we would get the crystal bowls and what type we would want?
Well, the bigger the bowl, the deeper the sound. Okay.
I've got a big fat one.
You got, oh yeah, what's the width of it?
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's
That looks like it's about 12 inches. 12 or 14 inches. See, we cannot hear it because you don't have a mic.
okay.
So, but
Yeah,
that's a beauty.
it's a big Bertha.
It's a big one. Well, it's actually, there are really big ones. You can get it like 36 inches, which is really big. Now, the place that I have bought all my stuff, it's here in Canada. So if you're in the States, your money is worth so much more. It almost would be, a great idea to buy it from them, although you will have shipping costs. One of the things you can get from this place, and the name of the site is, I'm going to put it in the chat, okay? Now, it's a Canadian site, crystalmusic.ca. Okay, so that's the site. And when you go on, you can look at all the products. And one of the products that he has is something that he actually manufactures. And it's really easy to ship. It's still crystal. And it's this. It's a crystal pendulum. Have you ever seen a crystal pendulum?
No.
So I would never use, not never, but I would not use a crystal pendulum at the beginning of your meeting. Okay? Because the vibration, the frequency of this is so high. This would be when you're closing, when everybody is zen, when you said maybe you've played your blue radiance music, and then you play. So a crystal pendulum actually is designed to open up the third eye. So when I do this in a sound healing, it's almost always at the end. Now, one of the beautiful things about this is it comes with a stand. And if you're doing live sound or just to have it in your house, like I remember once, I don't know, I was doing sound for Helping Parents Heal, and Elizabeth said, I really want one of those. And Irene emailed me and said, I really want one of those. So I sent them each. And you can have it in your kitchen. That's where I keep it. I keep it in the kitchen. And every day I play it. And yes, it's breakable. Yes, it's crystal. And I have broken it, which is a heartbreak. But which crystal to buy, Katie? The best answer would be you have to try the bowl. You have to go with what makes your heart sing.
Okay.
And if you have one bowl and you have a nice piece of music that's harmonious with that bowl, you're good. You don't need to have 25 bowls.
Good.
You don't. Just even one really good bowl. Now, you don't have to use crystal. You can use metal. And the beauty of metal, of course, is it doesn't break. Okay? Now, the metal is messy. The crystal bowl is one note. All right? But the metal, this is handmade. Look how bumpy and messed up it is. Okay? This bowl is like 3-4 different notes all together. But this bowl is, where's my hair? So this bowl has a much more, well, they call it an ancestral sound. And in a second, I'm going to play an instrument for you that is really special. And that's Perry, where the didgeridoo comes in. So this is a Tibetan metal bowl. They come in all sizes, easy to ship to you. Always let it fade. Give it time. One of the mistakes I've noticed people do in sound is they talk too much, like I'm doing. Like if I did a sound session talking this much, like we're doing this workshop, everybody would go nuts, me included.
How come I cannot hear that?
Who can't hear it?
Me, Galen.
Oh, hi, Galen. You can't hear that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, can you hear this? Hold on.
No. So what the heck's going on here? I'm under the weather, so I can't really talk up.
Okay, well, let's see. What about check your input and your output and just kind of mess around with it. Go to that, and you can also go to the sound settings on your computer. Go to your system preferences, go to sound, and click a few different things. See what works here. I'm going to raise my volume so there's no. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
You do. Does everybody else hear it?
Yep.
Okay. One of the things about sound is that everybody controls the sound they hear, the level of volume, right? You've all got volume controls on your computer. And if you're doing sound on Zoom with your group, if you want to use blue, the Bluetooth things, that's your choice, but I know they're really not so good for the brain, so I don't like using them. You see, Katie, your headphones, you have a microphone on there. Okay, so that's going to go click, 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 and make a lot of noise, okay? So I use a real old-fashioned pair that doesn't have a mic on it, all right? That way I don't get the rubbing. All right. I think Galen, yours are like mine. I don't know, but no mic on there, right? Whoops.
Correct.
Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay, Katie. So those ones you have, don't use those as a host. Okay. Okay. They really do. You don't even realize, but you're just moving around a little bit, and they make a racket.
Yeah.
Okay? I heard somebody the other day, somebody very well known who's done many, many Zoom meetings, and they were going like this. Can you hear that? You hear that?
Mhm.
And they didn't realize it. It was just a little nervous habit, and they were just moving their fingers a little bit, and we couldn't see it, but I knew that's what they were doing. And I thought, this microphone picks up everything, okay? Okay, like right now in my house, it's like minus 15 outside. I have turned off the heat, all right? There is no heat, so that there is no other noise, all right, for any of you to pick up. That's really an important thing, okay? You also want to be in a cool room. My computer's old, and that fan sometimes will kick in, and that also will be picked up by my microphone. So you want to make sure it's quiet all around.
Andrea, I'm so embarrassed.
Why?
I'm in Arizona.
Ah,
And
minus 15.
my room was 60 degrees when I walked in, so I have a little space heater I turned on. I just turned it off out of total embarrassment.
That's so cute. Well, I would like to show you. I don't know if I can, but there's a big blizzard. No, you can't even see it. It just looks white. There's a huge blizzard going on outside. But we did ski today. We did ski. And I looked at my partner and he looked at me and we both said, "What the are we doing here?" Like, we still say that. Like, you know. Anyway.
Galen knows we've got guest rooms down here for you Canadians who want to get away to Arizona winter.
Arizona winter.
It'll be 70 degrees. We'll all have coats on. You'll be in,
I
you'll be swimming in our 40-degree pool.
Totally.
But,
Totally. So, all right. Can we move on from the crystal bowls? Now, one thing I did want to mention though about my bowls, if you're doing sound in the room with people, then it's nice to have more than one bowl. And it's nice for the bowls to have harmony between them, but not a lot of bowls. Don't get a lot of bowls. Then they're just going all over the place and it's actually very chaotic. Okay? So these bowls that I have work really well. So I have the bowl in the lower C. Okay, that's the lower C. Then I have the G, which I played for you. This is my therapeutic bowl. Then I have an A. The A is really beautiful. The A is really
Very
beautiful.
nice.
The A is right here, third eye, boom, the A, yeah. And then the upper C. Debbie, you have a question?
I do. When you were playing the pendulum, what were you using to strike it?
Okay, the pendulum, it comes there's kind of this little box, and it comes with here. This is the actual crystal,
Right.
and this is acrylic. Okay, so this is the acrylic one that comes with the pendulum, and you
Okay.
can strike it on both sides, this side or this side. This one gives you a much more muted sound, and this one gives you. And if you go on crystalmusic.ca,
Right.
he sells them, and it also comes with a stand. Selenite.
Beautiful.
Right?
That's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful, it's powerful,
Love the
and
sound.
I use it every day. Like people, if people say, well, what would you buy to have every day? I would say this. And even if it's in its stand,
It's just pretty.
it's also safe. And the grandkids can come by and you can teach them. And this too has a magnificent fade, and it does a huge amount of clearing.
Oh,
Okay?
thank you.
And if you want to know more about it, crystalmusic.ca, It's called, well, he's a francophone. You can get in touch with me and I'll walk you through his stuff. And if ever you want to come up to Canada to go see him, you can come and stay with me in my little sound healing house.
Ooh, lovely.
I've got the website up, Andrea. He refers to them as singing pendulums.
Exactly. Yes, he does. He calls them in French, it's pendu chantant. Yeah, singing pendulums. That's it. And they're not expensive.
120, I'm assuming that's Canadian per pendulum.
Yes.
They come in 3 different notes.
Okay. So
you add an F.
Okay.
Yours is.
It's a beautiful instrument. Now, if you're on his site, Jeff, he has something. He has these. Again, completely non-breakable. And you know what that music, Blue Radiance? The chime works really perfectly. So there are like 5 different chimes. I don't know if he still has these in stock or others, or you might find this somewhere else. The thing about a chime, to get the most out of a chime, you got to take your time with it, like that. And then maybe you hit just a note, and then you hit a note again. And then you hit a note again. And then you start a conversation with another chime. And give it space. Give it space. Don't rush it. No rush. And anytime you want to practice, let's say you just want to practice, just send me an email. We'll practice. You see how this one sounds different? I'm going to play the other one again for you. This one is considered the sunset tones. And this one is the sunrise tones. Best thing is don't buy anything online. Go, if it's not to his place, go where you can hear the instruments and choose them yourself, okay? So if you're working online and you just want to prepare your group, get them in the mood, you can use the chimes. You can use Blue Radiance at the beginning. You can use a combination of Blue Radiance and chimes. And if you really want to rock and roll and make everybody, what would you say, Gail, into the didgeridoo, how crazy it is? It's an ancestral sound. It's deep, it's guttural, it's grounding, and there's a couple of ways. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with a didgeridoo. I don't actually have one in the room. I use a recording that actually I got when I went to Australia. But the didgeridoo is a very, very ancient instrument. It's basically a hollowed out branch of a tree. Here we go.
There it is.
Okay, Jeff, rock and roll, do it.
No. Never learned how to play it. I bought it as an art piece, but after today, some effort is going to be expended.
Oh, it's called circular breathing. It's not easy to learn, but it's worth it. Yes. Okay, so I am going to play 2 different kinds of didgeridoo sounds for you. And I do a lot of Zoom sound. We've all fallen in love with the didgeridoo. It's like, Andrea, play more didgeridoo. So what I'm going to do, in order for you to hear it better, it's best if I mute everybody, even me, okay? So we're all going to mute. So this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to play first the drone didgeridoo. So it's going to be, you're going to have a drum. The drum is also the ancestral sound, okay? The drum, the didgeridoo. I have rattles, which I don't have out here right now. Those are all very ancestral, deep, grounding. So we're going to play the drone didgeridoo, and then we're going to take a little, like, 1 minute break just to breathe in and breathe out. I'm not going to play it for very long. And then I'm going to play the textured didgeridoo. Dun, da, da. Here we go. So first, it might shock you at the beginning. Okay, if you've never heard it, it's going to be like, whoa, this is awful. But it's not. It's really not. And the way I do play it is, even now, because every time we do sound, there are always people coming on for the first time. So I always say, I give them 1 minute of didgeridoo so that they can know what's coming and anticipate it, and then I play it for longer, okay? It's not an easy sound, but it's really something cool to know about. And Jeff, I look forward to hearing you play the didgeridoo. Okay, so first, the tone, the droning didgeridoo. It's by a group from Australia called One Tribe. And this piece of music is actually called Return to Source. I have no idea if you can even get this online. One more little thing I want to mention. If you play a piece of music on Zoom for your gang, start the volume low, okay? Don't start it high and make everybody crazy. Start your volume low, and at the end, fade your volume away. And there's something else that I have on my computer, which is a minute of silence. And I'm happy to send you all a minute of silence. It's really practical to have it after a piece of music. So it gives you a chance to go back to the song, stop the song, but you have the silence playing, okay? So you need to have a minute of silence. All right, here we go. That's just a really short taste, just to give you an idea of the strangeness of the sound. Now we're going to do a textured sound. It's just to show you some of the possibilities. Now I'm going to play just some beautiful music that we love to play. Okay? And this is also from Source Vibrations. There. And this one is called Emerald Heart. You can play it in the background of your meeting. You can just leave it on if you want. You can play it at the end for the last 5 minutes. Emerald Heart. You can do a guided meditation to connect all our hearts with the hearts of our kids. Open our heart. Bring peace in the heart. Whatever you like. This music is called Emerald Heart Ascendance. And it's from Source Vibrations. Do you get the idea now? There's so much great music out there. There is an artist called Snatam Kaur. Strange name. Snatam. S-N-A-T-A-M. And her last name is K-A-U-R. This song is so beautiful. It's from an album called Grace. This one everybody loves. And what's good, it's not too long. Here we go.
May the long time sun shine upon you. Oh, love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. Oh, love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on.
I could go on and on with music. There's a lovely piece of music, again, it's from Source Vibrations. And what I love about this music is the wave in the background, the sound of the wave. And it's a piece of music, it's called Sound and Color Treatment, Lunar Blue. And I'll let you hear this one now. And then we'll take a 5-minute break. You can hear the waves. Mary, this is a really good piece for you, for your after death communication group. This is where you have to experiment, because in order to have music, this is sourcevibrations.com, and it's called Sound and Color. Now they have a color for every, they have a piece of music for every chakra. This one is lunar blue. What's so beautiful about it for ADCs is that, well, often when I gather with my lovely one, we're on the beach. We're on the beach, we're almost on the beach. We gather at the beach, we gather near water. Water is such a magnet, right? So this one is really great. But you hear the birds? It's, you know, it's hard to cover so much. I mean, like years and years of doing this, you learn so many things as you go, you know? You learn so much. And if you're going to layer, like if you play that piece of music, make sure you mute yourself. But if you play that piece of music and then you want to add a little bit of the bowl, don't have the bowl too loud. And remember, that's going to be your computer volume, because otherwise you're going to start asking too much of your technology and you get crackling and things won't work properly. So before we take a 5-minute break, Jeff, I'm going to unmute you because I think you had a question there. Is there anything anybody wants to say? This is a totally informal, casual thing, so please use me.
So that last piece of music that you played sounded very familiar to some of the stuff I often go to sleep to, which is one of the solfeggio frequencies, like the 528 hertz healing frequency and all. It sounds like it's in the same family.
Well, yeah, it could be a solfeggio frequency. I don't know. I'd have to go back to sourcevibrations.com and look it up. Now that one is Sound and Color, Lunar Blue. So lunar blue, again, it's the throat chakra. It's in the note of G, and it works perfectly with my bowl that's in the note of G. This bowl is the note of G. So sometimes, whoops, I'll play the two of them together. But yes, it sounds a lot like it. When you go on his site, Source Vibrations, it's like you're a kid in a candy store. There was so much. This is another piece of music I bought from him, and this is again Sound and Color, but instead of lunar blue, this is red. So this is root chakra, okay? But it's so beautiful. It doesn't feel deep or rough. It feels just amazing. So I'm going to play that for you for 2 minutes, and then we'll take a break. begin singing. They begin singing like angels. It's like angelic singing. It builds. It's so beautiful. Debbie, I think you had a question.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. You like that?
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the droning didgeridoo.
Okay, okay. So you're not hearing all the highs and the lows. You're kind of hearing it more as a monotone. You know, that too, we're all limited by our technology. We're all limited by our technology. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's take a break. But does anybody have a question? Is there anything? Is this helpful?
I have a very fundamental question. You know how much I adore this, but I love it coming from you more than me trying to pull it off because I can't get the basics down. Like
You
I
can't
try
get the
to,
basics? Do you want to practice?
well, yeah, I mean, sharing is not turned on. Why is that? The host isn't allowing sharing for this meeting. So
Oh,
wasn't I
I
supposed to
don't.
go there for advanced and the other
Okay.
steps?
Okay, so let me see how I can do that. Sharing isn't allowed for this meeting. Host tools. So let's say allow all participants to, well, I don't know, share, record, share screen.
What I
It,
struggle with is hearing the acoustics. And I always love it with a headset or something. And sometimes that's even a challenge. It's not you, it's clearly this computer. I was on the iPad, or no, I was on my iPhone, and then only because I was too lazy, but that didn't work either.
you couldn't hear it well. Yeah.
No, but I hear it if I don't have earphones, which is really weird because I know it's preferred to have some kind of earphone. And when I
Yeah.
open up sharing is not turned on, so I can't go in there and try to sort through to find where it says advanced.
Oh, no. That's just for the host. So I want to,
Oh, okay.
I'd be happy to make you host and then you can figure out how to come around and do all that. Yeah.
But it won't matter, will it, after all? Even if I did set up what I think is correct, it wouldn't matter as long as I'm not hosting. Yeah, probably I'm right. Share, advanced, and then what's the last step?
It's share,
Yeah.
advanced,
Yeah.
computer audio, and then share at the bottom. But the best thing is for us to do it together. So, like, I'm going to stop the recording now to give everybody a break. And if you want to try it, let's try it. So, okay? So we're going to so what I want to do now is just calm your fears. You don't even have to have any instruments to bookend your meeting on Zoom with music. You could just use a really nice piece of music. And this happens to be something lovely. So I gave you Sound and Color by Source Vibrations. And you can also use this. This is called Starfield. But there's so much music. It's really up to you what you like, right? As long as it makes your heart sing. So this piece of music happens to be recorded very low. So I kind of go around in my sound and everything and make sure everything is up so that it. See that? The difference? part of the magic of this music is that it is channeled music, although I think all music is channeled music. This is channeled through Reverend Michael Shane, and he too gave me permission to use his music, and it is called Starfield. So imagine yourself surrounded by a field of stars, one with the light, one with the cosmos, one with all that is. Again, when you stop your music, slow fade. So you don't shock anybody. So we could go on and on. That is a lot of info about a Zoom meeting. You can start, you can have just music. You don't need to have any instruments. If you have just music, you may want to set the stage for it a little bit. And one of the things you want to do is you want to encourage everyone to take a couple of conscious breaths, because we breathe unconsciously all the time. And you want to encourage them, and you can get into it as much as you want, to focus on the out breath if you want. You can say a prayer. There's a really nice prayer, because that gets into a whole other dimension of stuff when you start talking about prayer and God and all that. But there is a prayer that I picked up when I went to Lilydale, New York. I don't know if you know Lilydale, but it's a beautiful community of spiritualists. And they created a prayer. And it's completely non-denominational, and it's wonderful. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force. So they don't say God, the divine, nothing. They just call it the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. So that's just one. Anything. But when you start and you set the table at the beginning of your Zoom call and you say some kind of a prayer, do a couple of conscious breaths. That's in through the nose, out through the mouth. And you know, it is good to practice, because you want to practice your Zoom voice. You want to have a voice that people want to listen to. That's really important. Okay? Yeah. You want to practice that. So you can do that. You can welcome everybody, say a little prayer, do a couple of conscious breaths, and then just welcome the music in and ask them to just, you can breathe an affirmation. You can say, I am, on the in-breath, and on the out-breath, it can be one with my child in spirit. It could be anything you want it to be. Yeah, affirmations are great. If you're just listening to a piece of music and you want to get in the mood, just breathe it in and breathe it out. Blue Radiance is great for that. It's very gentle. It's only 3 minutes. Okay? If you want to there's another piece of music that I love. Now, this is where music goes with bowls, okay? And like I say, you don't have to have a lot of bowls, just one bowl. Even just one piece of great music that works with one bowl. So anybody who has attended my sound sessions, like Galen and Perry, will know this piece of music because honestly, it's just so beautiful. It's just something I play almost every time.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta Ave Maria.
I hate to stop it. It's such a beautiful piece of music, but it's just to give you a taste. Now, this song is by an artist called Ashana, Ashana. Now, she does this version, which is very long. It's over 9 minutes, and she does another version, and if you can get the shorter version, that's better. Remember that everything you play through Zoom has a delay. So even though I hit the bowl, you only hear it 3-4 seconds later. Okay? So one thing you can't really do on Zoom is you can't sing together. Okay? Can't chant. There's some great chants, but you can't because it's all garbled and the timing is no good. So I'm going to ask you all now to unmute and to ask me questions because I could go on, but I don't want to. Yes, Galen.
So Blue Radiance was the one where I feel like I'm in a cathedral and the angels are singing. Is that Blue Radiance?
I'm going to play it for you and you're going to tell me. Blue Radiance is just a 3-minute song.
The one you just played.
No, that's Ave Maria by Ashana.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the 9-minute song, Ave Maria by Ashana. That I actually just bought on Apple Music.
Oh, it's just gorgeous. And the other question,
It is so beautiful.
could you share the prayer from Lilydale?
Yeah, I'll put it in. I'll tell you what. How about I write it in the chat?
Oh, okay.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, it's going to take me a minute to do that. So somebody else has to talk while I'm typing. Go ahead. Somebody else say something. Jeff, you must have a question.
I'm just looking up Ashana.
Okay. Yeah.
And-
So she has a lot of music, but honestly, of everything, Ave Maria is top.
Yeah.
It is top. Now, I happen to have 3 bowls that exactly perfectly are the perfect tone for that piece of music. And everybody always freaks out like, oh my God, how is it the bowls? Well, I mean, you work these things. You pick a piece of music that goes with your bowls, right? So if you do a live session and you have one bowl and one great piece of music that works with the bowl, you don't need more. Okay? If you do live, by the way, and not Zoom, you use your computer sound, you Bluetooth it with a speaker, and that's it. Is that too much for anybody, or did you follow that? Now, Gail, I'm looking at your face.
Try that again.
Don't worry about it. You do it on Zoom anyway. You don't do live, right?
I have live, but I haven't. In December, I also had a sound healer come to a
Okay.
live meeting, and it was wonderful. Nobody had ever experienced that.
Good. I would
Yeah,
come, but
so-
I'm too far.
No, I know, but
I
I mean,
know.
sound healing since August, sound healing and breath work, my two new favorite things.
Isn't
just-
it?
Oh
Yes.
my God, what a
I know.
changing.
What a change. I know. It changes you completely.
Yeah.
So I actually mentioned to Elizabeth that at the next conference, I'd like to do sound healing classes for everybody so we can really work it live together. If you like that idea, tell them also. Because the only person who's told them so far that I know of is me. And I would really like to get us in a room, just an hour. Like, we don't need, because there's so much going on at a conference, but yeah. So I'm going to just try to finish this.
Well, thank you for wanting to do that.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Thank you for wanting to do that.
Are you kidding? You want a gateway to get in touch with your kids? Okay.
Right.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what happened this happened at the first conference that I attended. I will just tell you this crazy sign. I was in the room with the PowerPoint, the big PowerPoint with over 900 pictures of all our kids scrolling through. And I had set up the bowls. Elizabeth gave me bowls, and I was in that room doing sound while people sat. And the second morning, all their equipment conked out. So I said, put all that on my equipment, the PowerPoint. So they put it on my equipment. It starts playing. And then next thing you know, the equipment freezes. And I look up at the screen and I'm like, oh no. I look up at the screen, and out of over 900 pictures, whose picture do you think is up on the screen?
Your
My
dad.
lovely Chloe. And when I asked her, I said, Chloe, how did you do that? And you know what her answer was? She said, Mom, you make it so easy, you don't doubt.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And then the sign gets better and better, and all these other things happen. But the fact is, she said, she didn't tell me how she did it though. She just said, you make it so easy because you don't doubt. And that's the whole reason, Galen, when you say thank you for doing this, I want to help people remove all doubt. Because our kids are so close, and all we have to do, it's a lot that we have to do, but we have to raise our vibration.
Right.
There is one last thing I do want to tell you all. I wrote this book with Chloe after she passed. And in this book, and I heard her like I'm hearing our conversations, but it started very soon after she passed, and then it went on for 5 months, and then that was it. And that was really hard. When it ended, I was like, oh my God. But while I was writing this book with her, I used to open this computer at 4 or 5 in the morning, close my eyes, and she would just dictate. And I had my eyes closed, and I would never make a spelling mistake when it was her words. I can't even make a text without making 25 mistakes. No spelling mistakes. One of the things she did was she gave me something called the 12 steps to bridging. Now, I never charge for sound, and I never charge for my book. And if you want, in any way, if this can help you, Mary, the 12 steps to bridging, I would be thrilled to have it help you. And I will send you a PDF of the book, and in it, there's all these steps that people can do. And Chloe gave me this information. It took her like 5 days. And over the 5 days, I learned a lot about communicating with spirit and how it's really hard on our bodies when they come in close for a long period of time. They use a lot of energy from us. They give, they receive, but it takes a lot from us. So we want to help people communicate with their kids when they're in a nice high vibration state, and it is totally doable. Absolutely, completely, 100% doable.
So Andrea, when you connect with Chloe yourself individually, not in group, but when you connect with her individually, do you use sound then?
Sometimes, but I don't even do that anymore. You know what I do? I have a bench and I say, meet me there, 10 o'clock. I meet you at the bench. Just meet me at the bench. And I know the spot. I pick this one spot. And of course, there are certain times when she's really going to be close. Her death date, her birth date. Those are times when, and like, if it's like Mother's Day and I'm like, I really need you. Like she's done some crazy things to show me that she's here. But yeah, sound will do it. But mostly what does it is when I'm feeling joyful. When I'm feeling joyful, that joy brings them in a lot. And I will go to that chair and I'll say, okay, I'll meet you there at 10 o'clock. And sometimes it takes a couple days for the whole message to come through. You know, like they do things. I'll tell you, can I tell you one more sign? Because this was crazy. This involved helping parents heal. It was an anniversary of Chloe's passing, and I had a medium give me a reading. I had a wonderful reading with a great medium with all these names she gave me, and Chloe was talking and giving me all this. The next day, Elizabeth calls me, says, Andrea, would you write a piece about Chloe? I know you love writing, and it's, I'm like, yeah. So I put the piece, I send it to Elizabeth, and she puts it on Facebook. And then I check the next day. And after the Facebook piece are all these comments. And the names of all these people were the names that the medium had given me 48 hours before. Because Chloe said to me, Mom, I want to thank this one, this one, this one, and this one. And I didn't know what she was talking about. So it's like follow the nudge, follow the nudge. And those 5 women actually, that Chloe wanted to thank were the 5 comments after the Facebook post. Like, how crazy is that? I hadn't even written the post when I talked to the medium.
That's so beautiful.
I know.
It's so beautiful.
I know.
That's amazing.
I love to share it. Because this isn't just like I found a feather. This is like, whoa,
Right.
All were nudged and we all operated in our highest and best good. And this is the magic that happened. So, Mary, I would love to send you the book. And yeah, I will for sure. In fact, if you send me an email and send me your address, I'm going to send you the physical book because it's really nice to have a physical book. And anybody who wants a book, just send me an email and I will send you the book. Okay. And okay, wait a minute. Did I put my email in there? Well, my email is easy. It's Courey, Courey, 1212 at gmail.com. I won't get into why 1212. That's another story. But it's Courey1212 at gmail.com. Just send me an email, send me your address, and I will send you a copy of the book. Okay? And I have a little sound healing house on the water in Montreal. And I was guided to that little house. Chloe hadn't passed yet, but I knew she was going to. And I knew I needed a place to heal after taking care of her for the last year of her life. And so I booked it and I rented it. And the address of this little house was 218. And when Chloe passed, you know what day she passed? February 18th.
Oh my God.
I know. It just goes and goes and goes. So you just like, how can you doubt,
Right.
I know. So we still have a little bit of time. I don't know. I guess I took a break there and I went into the personal side of things. But I really, Mary, wanted to send you the book so that you can look at the 12 steps to bridging and you can use that with your groups. And if you use the sound and color music that's lunar blue, It gives you the waves. It takes you to the beach. And it really helps. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, somebody must have a question, and I need to type this whole thing out, so I need a little time. So somebody else talk. No? Hello? Anybody has something to say? Katie, do you feel you took anything from this?
Yes, definitely. Again, had taken a certificate course at the university nearby
Okay.
online and learned all the basics, probably like Jeff, where you learn all about the megahertz and I was hoping to use it through some guided meditation, which I found this would be a good way to bookmark or bookend, starting with guided meditation, and actually as a background too.
Yes.
So but I haven't done anything just because sometimes you just need. I feel like this.
You have a great voice. You have a great voice.
I
You
actually
know.
was worried about it, but I recorded it just like this, and I'm like, it's pretty good if I just get a.
Yeah. Go slow. Give yourself lots of silence.
Yeah, and I do. I practice yoga, and so that really helps with you to feel like I'm a work in progress.
Do you have a microphone?
I don't. I
You need a microphone.
wanted to get one, and
Yeah, because your voice is going in and out, in and out. Does anybody hear that? It's a little
Yeah,
choppy.
That's correct.
took it
Yeah.
off.
First thing, Katie, get a microphone. And if you want, this is like, Amazon no-brainer. It's called the Blue Snowball. Like, how can you even take it seriously? But you know what? It works.
Yeah.
It works.
Can I ask you a technical question?
Oh, I don't know. Go ahead. I'll try to answer.
So it's plugged into your computer?
Okay, so that's a good question. So the Blue Snowball happens to have, I'm going to unplug it now so you can see, and you'll see the red light will go out. Okay. Anymore. It has a USB fitting. Now you may not have a USB fitting on your computer, but if you do, okay? There. So this is how I do it. I always plug my computer in. Always have your computer plugged in because Zoom takes a lot of juice, okay? Then I plug my Blue Snowball into a USB on my computer. And then this is my headphone. Just a little rinky-dink nothing. But I don't like big headphones where both ears are covered. It's too weird. So that's it. So I have my computer plugged in, my Blue Snowball plugged into the USB, and my headphone. Does that answer, Katie?
That does. I just have to figure out getting the music to show up on my Mac, when I'm on Zoom, which my husband's an audio guy. So,
Oh, lucky you.
Lucky you.
well, yeah, we'll see.
Well, and if you want, we can get together another time. Just send me an email and you can list, because I've played a lot of music and some of it you might, forget the name or whatever, or not sure. And Perry, I know you want to try, so I am going to actually make you host. So you are now host now, girl. Okay?
Okay.
So do you have any music on your computer to play?
I put that piece that you gave us into my iTunes.
Good.
And it's also on my laptop where I can get it real quick.
Right on the desktop of it. Good, perfect. So go ahead. Do you remember how to do the clicking?
Click share.
Share, advanced.
Oh. It doesn't take me to that.
Hey, it doesn't take you to that?
Mm-mm.
What does it take you to?
Okay, here you go. Okay, now what?
What did you
Okay.
click?
I got it. And then computer audio.
Yes. and then share at the bottom.
Okay. Well, at least now I know what it looks like.
Now go ahead and try to play. Ta-da!
Wow, that's nice.
See, and the sound is good.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
You will.
I will, damn it. I'm going to
You
figure this.
will, girl. You did it, Perry.
That's awesome. Congrats.
And Blue Radiant is the kind of music that if you play it for 3:33 and you want to kind of keep going a little bit, you can. Just click back on it and let it play for another little bit.
I'm gonna have to find some music to go with my F sharp bowl.
Well, there you go. That is your challenge. Listen to the music, play your bowl, get something that works with it.
Yeah.
Okay, F sharp is an interesting, yeah, it's the heart. It's interesting. Maybe emerald heart might work. Yeah.
I got just an aside. It's taken me, I'm stubborn, you know, but like this was my son's book. And the bowl and the gong and everything I have are like from 10 years ago when he had all this stuff. Right?
Cool. Yeah.
So I'm finally understanding that it's my responsibility to
There's no time frame.
learn.
There's no time frame for any of this.
I tell myself
Right?
every day that.
You do? Yeah.
A lot.
Everything works in spirit time. You know,
Right.
there's no time for any of this. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's the right time.
Oh, he's on top of me all the time.
Ah.
I mean, he's patient, but you know.
Well, you did it. You managed to click it and play it.
Thank you. Now I know what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm almost finished this thing. It's actually, once you start typing it in, it's kind of long. I put my trust. Whoops.
We could probably Google it.
Oh, yeah, you probably could. I know. I didn't think of that. But here it is. Love and the power of God. Here we go. Enter. There you go. Okay? That's it. And there were many people that had a hand in creating this prayer. And they could have put any combination of words. And they chose these. And so to me, that has value, you know? Yeah. There's also another one that's a real beauty. Oof, I love this. I use this sometimes, especially like Christmas Eve and when I do sound. You know, Christmas Eve is rough. It's always tough. And this is called the Prayer for Protection. And this is a prayer that was written, you've probably heard this. This is James Freeman, and he was a soldier during World War II. Whoops. And he wrote the Prayer for Protection. Now you can modify it, you can do anything with it, but it's the light of God surrounds me, the love of God enfolds me, the power of God protects me, and it goes on and on. The beauty of God inspires me. And the last line, wherever I am, God is. And it's just beautiful. The prayer for protection. You can tell I've had it for a little while. It's kind of, yeah. Okay? The prayer for protection. Yeah. So.
Thank you. I'm going to take off.
Okay, Galen.
See you soon. That was
See you
wonderful.
soon and anytime. Oh, traveling there. Okay.
Feel
There you
better,
go.
Galen.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
See you
Take
soon.
care,
Have the
Galen.
hubby of yours make you some soup tonight. That'll fix everything.
I already made it.
All right.
There you go.
Mwah.
So, any last questions or anything I can do for anybody? I'm going to take back the host. Okay, Perry, just in case. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Anything you want to say? Mary, did it help you? Did you find, are there any good tips? Even if you get one good tip, you know? Yeah. Oh, you're muted. That's a good thing to remember. Always check and see if you're muted or not. Yeah.
Am
Yeah,
I muted?
so I think there are a lot of good tips in here. I have I put in chat that I have it's a you can get a freebie, or you can get it you can get it and pay $1.99. You know, it's not that expensive, but you can get an app called Piano Tuner, and you can play your bowls near it, and you can determine what key, what hertz your bowls are, which I think is helpful, because a lot of times we don't have the right key here to begin with. So, yeah.
That's neat. Yeah. Yeah.
Andrea,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't copy when you posted the Blue Radiance. And
Okay.
It's
It should
gone.
be in there. It's
I
not
don't
there
s-
anymore.
I don't see it in the chat.
Oh. Oh. It
you
should be there. I think it's there. Yeah, I see it.
You don't see it.
It's right near the top of the chat.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me put it in again. How's that?
I'm sorry. Thank you,
No,
though.
no, 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 no. Hold on. Copy. No, no. No need to say you're sorry. Paste. Here we go.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. And it is in.
Thank you
Okay.
so much. Yes.
Okay. And remember, if you need anything else, you can always email me, and yeah, and I'll send it to you. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's so beautiful.
I know. I know. Yeah. Yeah. That is source vibrations as well. That piece of music. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Jeff, is there anything I can help you with? Did it help you in any way? Did you find it useful? I know you're going to learn the didgeridoo now.
Well, yeah, and I don't know whether to thank you or to curse you, but probably somewhere in the middle. I think back, we took a family trip to Australia a number of years ago, and that was the souvenir I brought back. And we have a room in our house that was sort of our son, who's now in spirit, his bedroom and our music studio. And I can't tell you the number of times I came in here with him at 13 or 14 trying to play that, and he could get the sound out, but he didn't have the circular breathing. So the longer he blew, the redder he got, and
Yeah.
it was all I could do to not laugh at him. But
Yeah.
he certainly gave it his all.
I have a suggestion for you. Play the didgeridoo when you're in the room. And just invite him in and say, here you go. What do you think of this? Play the didgeridoo when you're in the room. You see, like that is like my bench. You know the bench I was telling you about where I sit with Chloe? That's your bench. That room. That's like, play the, oh boy, would that be cool.
Yeah, that's where I'm sitting right now. And I've got, all of my guitars and instruments and stuff in here. So yes, we do commune in here quite regularly. But I mentioned this to you at the conference. Right now, I'm about 15 months away from full retirement, and I'm looking for something to do. And I'm not exactly sure at this point what that's going to look like, but it's going to have something to do with sound and music and healing, and whether I just play live to support a guided meditation, whether I fully devote myself to becoming a sound healer, or somewhere in between, don't know, but the search continues.
And you know what I find for me anyway, when I just ask. I say, use me, Lord. Just use me. Use me. Let me be, your servant. Just use my hands, use my mouth, use my words, and it'll come.
Yeah.
It'll come.
There's a lot of stuff. What I'm looking for is guidance, which I know doesn't exist. So I'm looking for something I know is a pipe dream, which is, all right, suggest like a starter kit for a sound healer. But, I've hung out with people who have gongs and crystal bowls and played all of them. And I'm thinking, oh, that would be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'm thinking I'm going to need a full-time job to support the purchase of all of these magical instruments.
But you have instruments.
I
You have.
I-
What about your voice? Do you sing?
depends on who you ask.
Because I have a feeling that your sound instruments are right there in that room with you. You don't need to buy a thing.
Yeah, I agree, and I've got yeah, but like I said, there's a lot of different directions I can go, and maybe I go down all of those roads to some extent. But yeah, so this I will be joining you on these excursions as often as I can, and this has been very helpful. And over time, I'm sure that I will gain clarity as exactly what this is going to look like here in a little over a year.
Yeah. Do what makes your heart sing. Yeah.
It all does. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know sometimes what I do is I say, okay, Chloe, I'm doing this to honor you. What would you like me to do? I'm doing this to honor you. That's really a great motivation for everything. Yeah.
My wife is very good at that. I'm not as good as I should be, but that's a great suggestion.
Yeah. What can I do to honor you today? Oh, I love that question.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. What can I do to honor you today?
And
sometimes she's,
if
yeah.
I got out of today, then
Oh.
it was 2 hours very, very well spent.
Yeah. That's a special one.
Play the didgeridoo. Start learning the didgeridoo, Jeff, because men are the ones that are able to play them, because it's the circular breathing takes. You have to. Women really can't do it.
I beg to differ. I saw some very, very talented female didgeridoo players.
Really?
In Australia, yes. Yeah.
Well,
and some very, very tiny women who apparently had some very severe or not severe, but incredible lung capacity hidden in those tiny little bodies. But
wow.
I think it's really more the technique than it is the actual size of your body and the size of the lungs that are housed within. Because I would have thought exactly the same thing. But yes,
I thought
most
it was
of them are men.
because you have an Adam's apple. I thought there was some physiological reason that men could do circular breathing better than or easier.
They used to not allow women to do it. It was only the domain of men. Imagine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
What can I say?
Yeah. I'm gonna just close the recording, and I hope that everybody has enjoyed this session and gotten something from it.
I truly have. Thanks.